Hello, my name is Nick George with Clouds Diamond Sharpening. Just going to make a video on oiling your blade, the importance of it and how to do it. And let's go down to the table and just start this wonderful adventure. Friction is your enemy. You don't want friction. And how do you reduce friction? With oil. Or loosen the tension. But don't do that, please. Let your sharpener loosen tension. Now I go with 2 pounds of pressure, but some sharpeners go up to 4 or 5. I don't really recommend that, but if you got to, you got to do it. What that will cause is more heat on the blade and more damage to the clipper. This clipper is over 20 years old. Look, 2002 code date. Yeah, this is 20 years old. Look, it's still going. Now, it sounds a little rough, but these are all used parts. I don't put no new parts on my clipper. They're just old, good used parts. So, it may not sound the best, but it doesn't sound bad. Look at that, bearing's not broken. That's what you want. See, you lock it in place. You break that bearing, you're going to have problems everywhere. Now, I can fix it, but 10, add 20. You're looking at $50 just for that repair instead of 30. And you're replacing that bearing. I'm pretty sure you're gonna replace this hinge because that blade had to push so hard to move it that it wore the hinge out by this blade hitting the edges. So just use oil and enjoy your day. Now, do I care if you use oil? No. It doesn't matter to me at all. I probably make more money if you don't use oil. But I still want you to use oil because I want your equipment to last long and you enjoy your sharpening the best and save money. Everyone likes to save money. I do. Okay, so when you don't oil your blades, dirt on this running surface, and then it makes little dents in these teeth and it pulls hair after that. So oil not only keeps the blade cooler while it's running because it has less friction. Just take lotion in your hands and rub them together. I can rub my hands like this and they start getting hot, but I put the lotion on them I can go a lot faster and they won't get as hot. And just think, some of these clippers are going 10,000 strokes a minute, and that's 10,000 times in 1 minute, back and forth. That means it's over 10 times a second. A lot. So not only those benefits, oil also has benefits to your clipper. Your clipper has to move this blade, right? That's why, you need oil. If you don't use oil, it's going to be harder to move this blade. Guess what? This motor's still going to spin. Instead of, rounding these tips off like a normal $10 repair, it's going to be already, just go ahead and add another 10 plus more money to service the motor. So you're going to look at a lot more money. Your clippers are going to leave lines. You're always going to be maintenance in your clippers. They'll always be breaking. If your blades are getting yellow, that's not gold. It's basically rust or dry metal shavings. And you're wasting the life of your blade because once these little lips go gone, your blade is done. That means the lever won't reach this cutter to move it and it'll disengage all the time. So if you oil your blade, not only do I have to remove less, it makes my job easier, it makes your job easier, and that's the important part. And it makes your blades run cooler, and people say, well, it's oil and it gets on the hair. Guys and girls, we need to put very little oil, like a drop here, drop there, drop here, drop here, a drop there, and a drop there. And then, if you have to, wipe it off, but oil it before you use it, if you have to. A lot of groomers, they go underneath the sanitary and you know, get the oil off that way. The oil, just because it looks dry, there could still be oil on it. So like if you use Cool Care, it evaporates the oil out of all these little ridges in the blade, and the oil's no longer in there. Cool Care says it has oil, but you need the oil afterwards. It's like nitrogen or whatever, compressed oxygen, something. Anyways, it evaporates when it hits the hot blade, and when it comes out, it's a gas. So the oil evaporates, basically. So if you use Cool Care, that's fine. Use oil after you use it, and then you'll be all good. I see a lot of clippers come in and they're all orange in here and orange around here. Guess what? They're gonna pay probably 30% more on their repair, and their blades are gonna last about 30% less. But a lot of people don't like using oil, and it annoys them to use it, and I totally understand. And that's totally fine. You don't have to, but I am gonna, just tell you the importance of it, and it is your decision. I don't want to get my car oil changed, but unfortunately, if I don't put oil in it, it will seize up. So will your blade. It will seize up, and you'll pay more. So if you don't mind buying new cars, just don't put oil in your car and just buy a new car when it seizes up. Just kidding. Please don't do that, and don't blame me if you do it, because that is not a good decision. But the blades are a little different. You don't have to use oil if you don't want to, but I do recommend it. And if I was a groomer or barber or cattle, I would oil every single time, and I would use a lot of it. Now you can use too much, and then it'll start turning into goo with hair being chopped up in it, and then you don't want that, because then it gets in these teeth, and then it's not going to cut anyway if these teeth are clogged. So here's how you oil. It's nice and easy. Just one little drop, 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 one little drop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drops of oil, and then this blade is good until it gets dry, and I would at least say 15 minutes of use. You could probably use it, depending on how fast your clipper is, maybe less. But just put a little oil on it and go like that, and if you have to, just blow it off or wipe it off and then use it. It's still better than not oil at all. I recommend oiling when you put blades away. Why is that? Well, because I got so many used blades. I probably got about 100, and none of them are rusted, because all of them have oil on it. They will never rust. It is humid in Texas. Oil will not rust.